The FIA president, Mohammed Ben Sulayems, has made himself public enemy number one among F1 fans, with controversial statements, baffling decisions, and his dictatorial approach to running Formula One's governing body. His latest attack against the Formula One drivers has been an attempt to crack down on swearing, a move which has left many fans and drivers baffled. Huge new penalties, including race bans, could be dished out to drivers if they decide to swear or say anything which is against Mohammed Ben Sulayem's personal beliefs. Now, he's doubled down on his threat, saying that if drivers don't follow his rules, then further punishment will be dished out. Today, I'll check out how MBS is planning to spoil the fan experience to get the drivers in line, and what he's going to do about the crumbling stewarding system. So, don't go anywhere. The FIA, under the stewardship of Mohammed Ben Sulayems, or MBS from here on in, has been embroiled in controversy after scandal, after controversy. Whether it is the firing of the committees that are meant to keep his leadership in check, the removal of the auditing team who stopped mismanagement of FIA funds, or the use of FIA money to buy votes in elections, the president has been pulling every play in the Sepp Blatter playbook in an attempt to one-up the criminally corrupt ex-FIFA boss. The most recent move in his long list of questionable decisions was made at the end of January, when the FIA president decided to act upon his claim that F1 drivers are too much like rappers and introduced a new set of punishments for any drivers caught using swear words. And to top it off, if they criticize the FIA or MBS for this decision, then they could face race bans. Four-time F1 world champion Max Verstappen received community service, visiting a grassroots motorsport program in Rwanda, after swearing at a press conference in Singapore last year. Charles Leclerc was also punished for swearing in a press conference last year, though he got the much lighter punishment of a few €1,000 fine. The FIA president, MBS, caused controversy last year when he stated drivers must curb their use of foul language, in a statement which Lewis Hamilton accused of being racist. MBS said F1 had to differentiate between our sport, motorsport, and rap music. Hamilton responded by saying rappers is very stereotypical. If you think about it, most rappers are black, so when it says we're not like them, those are the wrong choice of words. There is a racial element there. MBS's comments came in an interview with Autosport, in which he suggested drivers could be hit with penalties for swearing over team radio in races. Swear words are always bleeped out during TV broadcasts by F1, which delays the transmission of team radio conversations, so they can be vetted for language. MBS said, "We're not rappers, you know? They say the F word how many times per minute? We're not on that. That's them, we are us." He said he understood that drivers were in the heat of the moment, but added, "We have to be careful with our conduct. We need to be responsible people." If MBS thinks that kids aren't swearing in schoolyards all over the world from the age of 10 anyway, then he's more out of touch with the real world than fans think. Whether it is music or films or YouTube or the internet, children around the world from a very young age have access to a platform where they can hear or see swearing. And if he thinks that hearing Max Verstappen call his car shit is going to corrupt them in some way, then he is sorely mistaken. His attempts to reduce the use of swearing in Formula One by the drivers was recently codified. For drivers in top-level championships such as Formula One, Formula E and the WEC, swearing or criticizing the FIA will now be punished. A first offense carries a £38,800 fine, a second offense a £67,600 fine, and a suspended 1-month suspension, and a third offense is a £101,000 fine and a 1-month ban. Over the weekend, though, he doubled down on the new rules, vowing to make changes to the F1 broadcast if drivers don't comply with the new rules, potentially degrading the fan experience next season. At a press conference at Jarama in Madrid, MBS said, "Do we go on and then shut down the radios of live communications? Maybe. Do we delay it? Maybe," said the FIA president. "There's a lot of things we will work on with our promoters. We're still the owners of the championship." The statement exposes a lack of understanding from the FIA president on how radio messages are already broadcast. Currently, team radio transmissions are aired with delays to filter inappropriate language, although premium services allow fans to hear real-time exchanges. If, like me, you watch the Sky Sports coverage of Formula One, you'll know that radio messages are already delayed a lap or two, with swear words bleeped and the radio transcripts starred out to hide what was said. Though, unless it is a Yuki Tsunoda swear word-filled monologue, which sounds like your speakers are broken, it's pretty easy to work out what's being said. These raw, uncensored communications are a fan favorite, adding a layer of authenticity and personality to the drivers that might be lost if changes are enacted. Why the FIA would try to deprive fans of the hilarious reactions to Lance Stroll's latest snafu is completely beyond me. At that press conference in Madrid, MBS continued to attack the drivers, calling for discipline and common sense, as the FIA is based on respect. His words, not mine. Our drivers and our ambassadors have to go out and send clear messages. Are we going to allow them to use bad language? We have to respect. The FIA is based on respect. That is our foundation, and it will continue to be that way. It has been clear that the drivers aren't happy with how MBS is running F1's governing body. Whether it is Max Verstappen pushing back at the swearing ban, Lewis Hamilton calling out MBS for using racist language, or the GPDA director George Russell stating in November that the grid was fed up with Ben Sulayems and his leadership of the FIA. It's obvious they aren't happy. How they respond is difficult though, and if they do respond, it won't be until the season starts again when they can get maximum exposure from the media. Whether something happens at pre-season testing or the first race of the season in Australia though, we'll have to wait and see. There was more revealed at that press conference in Madrid, but before I talk about that, if you're enjoying the video and want to catch all the news in the run-up to the 2025 F1 season, then make sure to press the like button and subscribe to F1 Reverse. After 3 years of bringing you daily F1 news, we're well on our way to 100,000 subscribers, so thank you very much to everyone who's been a part of that. So the FIA's biggest problem last season, apart from MBS, was the state of stewarding. Controversial steward Johnny Herbert has already been removed from his position this off-season after his dual role of pundit and steward brought his decision-making into question. He was just the latest of high-ranking F1 decision-makers to lose his job though. Eduardo Freitas was removed following the Japanese Grand Prix last year, leaving Niels Wittich to manage the races alone. Wittich himself left his role abruptly just after the Las Vegas Grand Prix in November 2024, leading the FIA to appoint Rui Marquez as a temporary fill-in. MBS has now announced plans for big changes in Formula One race direction ahead of the 2025 season, bringing back the system of using multiple race directors. He highlighted the need for fresh blood to improve consistency and stability within race control. This aims to address past issues and restore credibility following the controversies that have plagued the sport in recent years, notably since the 2021 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. The return of multiple race directors aims to bring consistency to race officiating, a critical factor after Niels Wittich's single-handed race direction was met with criticism. Rui Marquez, the current interim race director, is likely to remain part of the team, though it's undecided who will join him. There will be fresh blood and more than one race director, MBS promised. As the FIA sets these changes into motion for the 2025 season, the effectiveness of these strategies will become evident very quickly. The upcoming season will serve as a crucial test of whether the return to multiple race directors and the stringent conduct guidelines can actually improve the sport we love or just pinch it until its spirit dies. What do you think of the recent statements by MBS? Do you believe his threats of stopping the broadcasting of team radio messages? Let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, and if you want to support F1 Reverse, then make sure to check out our merch store, which is linked in the description below, where you'll find some sweet F1 inspired designs. And until next time, drive safe and bye for now.